Is Sarvesh present? Hello?
Yes, sir. You are audible. We can hear you.
Okay, is Sarvesh present? Sarvesh. Okay. Is Acharya present? So hello everyone, I am Sri Charan and I am the co-judge. Happy Deepavali everyone, first of all. And I am studying 4th year in information technology in Hyderabad. And Atreya is going to be the moderator today. He is going to be explaining the rules.
Hello everyone, my name is Atreya. I'm in 10th grade right now and I'll be your moderator. I'll be telling you the rules now. Uh, and which grade and all of that. Second, only start speaking when your name is called out. I will be calling out your names. When your name is heard, start speaking. Do not speak before that. You guys get 3 minutes, sorry, within 5 minutes. You guys, after you speak, do not leave the meeting. You guys need to stay till the end. Do not turn off your video throughout the meeting or this debate session. Always keep your video on unless it's an emergency. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Now Sri Charan will be introducing the judge, Prabhu Guruji.
So today, hello everyone. So today, under the guidance of Sri Prabhuji, Prabhuji has completed his MTech in IIT. He has 30 plus years of corporate experience. He has worked in various companies, and also he is the founder of iLead Group. It is a non-profit organization and which teaches Advaita Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita to all the other students. So sorry today. Yeah. So we are all very lucky to be under the guidance of Sri Prabhuji, and uh, let us all together be blessed by Sri Prabhuji. So I think yeah. So we'll start with a prayer. Yeah.
Asatoma Pre. Sorry, Gayatri Mantra. Shall we start?
Let us start. Let us start with a small prayer, everyone. Om Bhurvuvaswaha
Guru Brahma
Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo nah prachodayat Harihi Om. Okay. Hello, Prabhuji. Hari Om.
Namaste, Hari Om, children. Very happy to see you all. I'll keep myself on mute because a lot of crackers are sitting around. So I'll keep myself silent.
So just as I've introduced now, Sri Prabhuji has completed his MTech in IIT. He has 30 years of corporate experience working in Tech Mahindra and other companies. He is the founder of iLead, which is a non-profit organization which teaches Advaita Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita lessons. All of us today, we are very blessed to be under the guidance of Sri Prabhuji. May he guide us all and may all of us become successful. And I hope all of the students here, all of the members here will reach great heights. Thank you all. So we'll start with the session. Yeah, Atreya, you can take it over.
Yes. Okay, first person to speak will be Vaibhavi Sridhara. Is Vaibhavi Sridhara there?
Vaibhavi Sridhar is not there.
Okay. Okay, we will be going on to the next person. Mayank Bhatt.
Yes,
Is Mayank Bhatt there? Okay. Okay.
I am going to say a story about the friendship of Krishna and Sudama. Krishna and Sudama were studying in a Gurukul and their guru was Sandipani Maharshi. While they were studying, they became very close friends. Later, Krishna became the king. Sudama was very poor. He had nothing at all. His wife suggested him to go and ask Krishna for help. Sudama said, "How could I ask my friend for help? I don't think we should do that." Later, when there was no way to go, Sudama went to Krishna's. Sudama got ready to go to Krishna's palace. There was a custom in India. If you have to go to someone, you have to not go empty-handed. Sudama had nothing at all. His clothes were torn, and he saw some puffed rice, and he tied it in a cloth, and he took it to Krishna's palace. When he saw Krishna on his throne and his servants, and when Krishna saw Sudama, he came running down and he washed the feet of Sudama and made him sit in his seat. As he made Sudama sit on his throne, he asked, "What have you got for me? Come on." Sudama was a bit shy and he told, "How could I give this puffed rice to you?" Krishna snatched the puffed rice and filled his mouth with it. The joy meeting was so happy that Sudama forgot what he came for. Krishna also forgot to give Sudama anything. Both forgot, and Sudama went to his home. There he saw his house transformed and he had all riches. His wife was very happy and told that somebody had given gifts to them. So let us all make Lord Krishna our friend so that he can free us from the troubles and disturbances. Thank you.
Very nice, Mayank. So Mayank, you are from Balakrishna batch?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this session is in the Vivekananda group. You should have joined the other session, but okay, it's okay. You have talked wonderfully. Very nice of you. Let us give a big round of applause to Mayank.
Okay, that was 3 minutes. Going on to the next person. And Samvi BK. Samanvi BK. Is Samanvi BK there?
No, absent.
Okay. This person S Sai Kriti.
Atreya?
Yes.
No, Atreya, we are calling the other team member's name. I'll call the team member's name, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll call it because the list is different. Is Sarvesh here? Sarvesh.
One thing you can do, the people who are present here, just take attendance and call the names.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
Lakshmi Karkera, first name. Can you tick?
yeah, Harshal Karkera. Is he there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay,
Yeah,
Harshal.
okay.
So,
Harshal, you can start. Yeah.
you can-
Okay.
Yeah.
Namaste. So today I'm going to be speaking about Swami Vivekananda, my hero. So Swami Vivekananda is a renowned spiritual leader, a great orator, and also an amazing leader of India. Swami Vivekananda is well known for dedicating his whole life to serving people and uplifting the people of India. Swami Vivekananda was born as Narendranath in Calcutta on January 12, 1863. He was very well read not only in Hindu ancient texts such as the Puranas and the Vedas, but also in Western philosophy. The Sadguru of Swami Vivekananda was Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who was a great devotee of Kali and taught Swami Vivekananda with love and patience. Most of Swami Vivekananda's questions about spirituality and God were answered at Dakshineshwar, where Ramakrishna Paramahamsa stayed. When Ramakrishna Paramahamsa attained Samadhi, Swami Vivekananda carried forward his guru's work and dedicated the rest of his life to serving the people. Atmana Mokshashtam Jagatitaya Cha, a shloka from the Rig Veda, was one of his favorite sayings. It is also the motto of the Ramakrishna Mission. Swami Vivekananda is most famous for his speech at the World Parliament of Religions at Chicago in 1893. This speech was one of the greatest in world history and was a source of pride and joy to Indians. It gave a new perspective to foreigners about our rich spiritual heritage. 3 years later, the Ramakrishna Mission was founded at Belur Math, where it is still running. Swami Vivekananda attained Samadhi on July 4, 1902. January 12th is celebrated as National Youth Day in honor of him. Swami Vivekananda inspires me because he stepped up to lead the country when India needed it most, and he still inspires people everywhere. His words are still very true and still relevant. Thank you.
Very nice. Let us give a round of applause to her.
So the next is Mihir A. Acharya.
Hari Om.
Yeah.
I am Mihir from the I Lead Vivekananda batch. My pranams to everyone. Today I will be talking about Deepavali, the festival of lights. Diwali, also known as Deepavali, is a big festival celebrated all over India. It is the triumph of good over evil when Krishna killed Narakasura. The day Narakasura was slain is called Deepavali. Deepavali is also the day when Lord Rama returns to Ayodhya and is crowned king after spending 14 years exiled to the Dandaka forest. This day is also when Vishnu comes down in his Vamana avatara to restore heaven to Indra from Bali, the Asura king. This year, Deepavali will be celebrated in a grand manner at the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, with the birthplace of Rama, by lighting around 5.5 lakh deepas. This is a Guinness World Record. As per tradition, Deepavali is celebrated over 5 days. Day 1. On this day, we thoroughly clean our houses and shop for gold jewelry or kitchen utensils to help bring very good fortune. Day 2. On this day, we decorate our houses with beautiful clay deepas and clay lamps and also light them. We also make colorful designs called rangolis using colored powders. Day 3. This day is usually the main day. On this day, we visit our friends and family. Families gather together to pray to God and have a mouth-watering feast, followed by some sweets and savories, followed by the most fun part, which is done at night, bursting crackers. Day 4. This day is usually the main day. This day is usually the mark of the beginning of winter. On this day, friends and family visit each other with gifts and best wishes for the new season. Day 5. On this day, friends and family visit each other to have meals and exchange sweets. Some of the interesting facts about Deepavali are: in Malaysia, Deepavali is celebrated as Hari Diwali in the month of Ashvija. According to Jains, Lord Mahavira attained nirvana or salvation on this day. In Thailand, Deepavali is celebrated by lighting lamps made of banana leaves. This festival is known as Lamp Kriyon. In Nepal, Diwali is known as Tihar or Swanti. In West Bengal, Deepavali is celebrated as Kali Puja. My family celebrates Deepavali starting with the oil bath early in the morning. And then we wear clothes and then pray to God for the welfare of everyone. Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. We also visit our elders and seek their blessings. On this day, we visit others to exchange gifts and sweets. This year, let us make our local artisans happy by buying their products. Let us go vocal for local. Wishing everyone a happy and peaceful Deepavali. Hari Om. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay. Next is Satvik. Is Satvik present? Yes.
Yes. Hari Om, my pranams to everyone. My name is Satvik, and today I would like to talk about Swami Vivekananda and his character. From time to time, great souls are born in this world. They come to teach us what to aim at in life and how to achieve that aim and how to overcome all our difficulties that we face in achieving that aim. Swami Vivekananda was one such person. He is my hero and he inspires me, and I strive to be like him all the time. And we all must too. We have to understand his character to become like him. And his character can be illustrated through various incidents that happened throughout the early half of his life. When Swami Vivekananda was very young, he and his friends used to play at being rishis and meditate. Most of them didn't concentrate at all and were peeking around to see what the others were doing. One day, while playing this game, a snake came into their midst. Everybody jumped up and ran away, screaming in terror, but Swami Vivekananda was concentrating very deeply and didn't notice the snake or the screams. The snake left and went away. Such concentration is important in our lives. We can do anything if we set our minds to it. Like Swami Vivekananda himself once said, take up one idea, make that idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Make sure your muscles and nerves and every part of your body is full of that idea. This is the path to success. This can also be applied for any task that you're doing. You have to put a full concentration on anything and think only of that one task. The next incident I'm going to talk about took place in Swami Vivekananda's class. He was talking to his friend, and the teacher noticed that someone was talking. He thought that it was Swami Vivekananda, so he called him and asked him to stand up. The teacher thought that if he couldn't answer the question, then that meant that he was the person who was talking. So he asked the question, but Swami Vivekananda answered it correctly. So the teacher said that he must have been mistaken in assuming that Swami Vivekananda was the person who was talking. But Swami Vivekananda assured him that he was talking. This shows his immense honesty and how he took full responsibility for his action, even if he could back out by taking the easy way and not saying anything, but denying that he had done it. And when Swami Vivekananda grew, he began thinking a lot about God. He began asking people a lot of questions about God, and he wanted to learn dearly about God. But only someone who has seen God, experienced God, can teach you about God. So he began searching for such a person. He asked every person he met, and every person he met after that, whether they had seen God. Everybody answered no. But one day, someone introduced Swami Vivekananda to Sri Ramakrishna. When he asked him his question, Sri Ramakrishna answered yes. So Vivekananda became Sri Ramakrishna's disciple. One day, while teaching him, Sri Ramakrishna said that he hated the touch of metal or money. So Swami Vivekananda decided to test this for himself. Before Sri Ramakrishna went to sleep, he put a coin on the mattress of his guru's bed. When Sri Ramakrishna sat down on the bed, he jumped up as if stung by a scorpion. Swami Vivekananda never believed anything without testing it. He always tested whatever he was told without blindly believing it. We all must imbibe this quality, otherwise we might be made to believe all sorts of lies and untruths. These are some of his childhood qualities that made him the great man that he became. As he once said, what the world needs is character. It is in need of those whose life is one burning love, selfless. That love will make every word tell like a thunderbolt. We all must imbibe all these characteristics from Swami Vivekananda, and this will make us all great leaders like him. He must all be our heroes, and we must continually strive to be like him. Thank you.
Wonderful, Satvik. Great job.
Okay, next person. Harshal. Is Harshal there?
Hello,
Harshal.
I've already spoken.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Next person will be
Manya
Manya.
R.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Arise, awake until the goal is reached. A very happy Deepavali to one and all present here. I am Manya here. Hero. Who is a hero? Which person is liable to be called as a hero? What characteristics does the hero carry with him? Is every leader a hero, or is every hero a leader? Is every person who appears on the silver screen with a positive character a hero? Does he deserve the title? Swami Vivekananda. He wasn't born with Swami in his name. He won it with his heroic nature and his leadership qualities. Swami Vivekananda's birth name was Narendra. Narendra was just 8 years old when he played this game, which was to meditate on the favorite deity and see who would meditate for a longer time. Once, when they were playing this game, one of the boys heard a sound, a hissing sound. He opened his eyes only to see a big black cobra. All of them ran after hearing this. When they turned back to just have a look at the cobra, they also saw their dear friend Narendra still sitting meditating there. They all were very afraid to go close, but they were also worried about their friend's life. So they just waited there and watched what would happen. The cobra just observed Narendra for some time and then just slithered away. They then waited Narendra to open his eyes and then they narrated it. But it was shocking to know that Narendra didn't even know that all this was happening. But this is not only an astonishing event, this is also a sign of Narendra turning to be the Swami Vivekananda. Narendra had not yet decided to preach Hinduism. That once on the dinner table, he discussed with his mother and consulted her whether he is fit or liable to be able to preach Hinduism. His mother said, "This is not the right time. I'll let you know on the right time. Just wait." After having his dinner, he just cut an apple and ate it. Later, his mother asked him for the knife. He passed the knife to his mother, and then his mother replied, "Now you are fit to preach Hinduism." Then he was surprised. "Why do you conclude so all of a sudden, mother?" Then his mother replied, "I saw the way you passed the knife to me. You turned it around, held the sharper edge, and gave me the handle so that I wouldn't be hurt. This shows that you care, and this is what is needed for any person to preach Hinduism. Exactly. A hero does not care for himself, he cares for the people around him. He wants the people around him to improve and be the best. Vivekananda did exactly the same thing. We all are aware about Vivekananda's incredible memory skills. We all know the incident where he wrote the entire newspaper word by word, including the comma and the full stop in a piece of paper after an insulting incident which happened to his friend on a ship. On the other hand, we also know the incident where the same person also quoted the exact lines and words of a page in a book to a librarian just to prove that he had read the book. This all shows that he really had supernatural powers. But the real hero is not the person who can fly or swim at great speeds, but the person who has these kind of morals. In this generation, we ask any small kid, who is your hero? Then for sure she would or he would answer or name a person who is in the silver screen. But are they the real heroes? Do they have the real heroic qualities in their real life? This is something we should look. This is something where we should help the younger generation people to identify their leaders. In the end, I would like to quote that you have all the power in you. So you must believe in you because you are the infinite. Well quoted by Swami Vivekananda. I repeat, you have all the power in you because you should believe in yourself because you are the infinite. Thank you all.
Wonderful, Manya. Very nice.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, next person. Meda Nagraj.
Yes. So, so I would like to talk about Swami Vivekananda. So I would like to first give introduction. So he was born on January 12th, 1863. His father was a lawyer and his mother was full of wisdom, and she was famous for her meditation. So I would like to narrate a story on Vivekananda. His real name was Narendranath. So I would like to narrate a story. So when he was young, he used to climb on the tree and hang upside down. So one day, the owner of the tree had come, and he thought that the Narendranath was actually spoiling the part of the branch of the tree. So he thought, and he went to Narendranath and asked whether why he was doing it. So Narendranath asked, "Why, sir? Why do I need to get down?" So that time he told that there is a Brahma Rakshas who is sitting on the tree who will cut your neck. So that time he nodded his net and got down the then after some time he actually climbed up the tree again. So at that time after that time his friend who was just beside him asked him, "Why are you climbing the tree again? It seems there's some Brahma Rakshas." He told, "My dear friend, it is not true. It is just they're just telling so that we don't spoil the tree. There's no Brahma Rakshas. If there was any Brahma Rakshas, it would have come and already cut off my head." So another story which I would like to narrate is when Narendranath was in school, he was little talkative. So he was narrating a story to his friends. He didn't. The students who were listening to his story didn't realize that the guru or the teacher he had entered the classroom. So after some time, when Guru realized that the students were not listening to him, they were instead listening to the story which Narendranath was telling. He asked everybody to stand up and answer the question he asked. None of them could answer except Narendranath, because Narendranath had kept his half mind on the lesson which was taught by his teacher. So from this, we also know about that Narendranath had loyalty. And then I would like to tell Swami Vivekananda also was very good at gymnastic, sports, and studies. He also came along a guru known as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who gave him enlightenment about God and how to seek God. So after this, when he was, so I would then I would like to continue story on Chicago. So he was 29 years old when he went to Chicago. He went to the World Religious Conference where he had to give a speech. So he started the speech by "My dear sisters and brothers," which was very emotional for the Americans. Because of this, he got standing ovation and got applause for 2 minutes. From this, we also know that Vivekananda did not discriminate in anybody, and also always gave equal rights to everyone. So I would like to tell some points how Vivekananda inspire us. So Swami Vivekananda will always inspire, remember us. We will always remember Swami Vivekananda as he is one of our inspiration for the mankind. He is the greatest source of enlightenment, pride, and inspiration. He also taught us about unconditional love, importance of being and taking back and being a better person. The three golden rules which we learned from Vivekananda is: who is helping you, do not forget them. Who is believing you, do not cheat them. Who is loving you, do not hate them. These are the three golden rules which was given by Vivekananda. I would also give some quality of. I would also like to embed some qualities of Swami Vivekananda in my life. They were bravery, courage, respect, human values, and service to people. And the vision, Swami Vivekananda always had a vision for the country that was freedom to service humans, to service human by love and care, and always seek in God. So I would like to conclude by telling you cannot believe in God until you believe in yourself. Thank you.
Veda,
Yes, sir.
1 minute, 1 minute. You did wonderfully.
Thank you, sir.
Confident and did cover the Vivekananda, my hero, very well. Congrats.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next person. Aditya Karthik.
Yes, Hari Om. My name is Aditya Karthik and I will be speaking about Swami Vivekananda. So first, who is Swami Vivekananda? So Swami Vivekananda was a monk, a Hindu monk, who was the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who was a great guru. So Sri Swami Vivekananda also established the Ramakrishna Mission and the Ramakrishna Mutt, which helped spreading spirituality. And his birthday is celebrated as National Youth Day because he inspired the young youth, to come out of the so-called youth they were called, to become the future leaders of tomorrow and become the better version of themselves. So what are some qualities of Swami Vivekananda that I like? So what I love about his qualities was his dedication to his guru and his willingness to learn. As Krishna said that he loves the children who teach and who study and teach the Bhagavad Gita. And why he inspires me? So why he inspires me is his courage and his dedication and his willingness to obey his guru. So what I want my country to look like? I want my country to be clean, beautiful, and everybody treats each other with respect. And lastly, what I want to become in my life? What I want to become in my life is I want to become a scientist. Hari Om, thank you.
Wonderful, Aditya Karthik. Very nice speech. Okay, I loved you. Loved the way you.
Prabhuji.
Okay, great. Good job.
Okay, thank you. Next person, Purva.
Purav.
Purva Kashi.
Purav.
Sorry,
Yes.
Purav Kashi. Are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Hari Om, everyone. My name is Purav and I'm going to talk about Swami Vivekananda and his early life. Swami Vivekananda was born on 1863 as Narendranath Datta in an aristocratic Bengali family of Kolkata. Vishwanath Datta, his father, was an attorney at the Kolkata High Court. Bhubaneshwari Devi, his mother, was a devout housewife. Durgacharan Datta, his grandfather, had left his family at the early age of 25 to become a monk. As a child, Narendra was very naughty and restless. His parents often had difficulty controlling him. Narendra always looked forward to spirituality. He often used to bow before the images of deities such as Krishna, Rama, Sita, and even Mahavir Hanuman. The combination of his father's progressive rational attitude and his mother's religious practices shaped his thinking and personalities. He la- Hariom everyone, my name is Purav and I'm going to talk about Swami Vivekananda and his early life. Swami Vivekananda was born on 1863 as Narendranath Datta in an aristocratic Bengali family of Kolkata. Vishwanath Datta, his father, was an attorney at the Kolkata High Court. Bhubaneshwari Devi, his mother, was a devout housewife. Durgacharan Datta, his grandfather, had left his family at the age of 25 to become a monk. As a child, Narendra was naughty and restless. His parents often had difficulty controlling him. Narendra always looked forward to spirituality. The combination of his father's progressive rational attitude and his mother's religious temperament shaped his thinking and personality. At the age of 14, Narendra's father's health was declining. He, mm, they had to move to Madhya Pradesh to find a cure to the disease. There, in Madhya Pradesh, Narendra was very much interested in the religious works of the learned men who came to visit his father. When they came back, they later Narendra later went to college. Because of his readings, Narendra had a strong desire to meet God. But Narendra had a strong desire to meet God. At that time, the Brahmo Samaj activities were carried out vigorously in Bengal. Narendra became a part of it. But even the priests couldn't quench his thirst for finding God. He later uh, searched here and there for an answer, but he couldn't get an answer. He later met Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who helped him find God and helped him and quenched his thirst. Narendra learned that living beings are the embodiment to the divine self. Uh, from Ramakrishna's permissions, Narendra later continued his studies. He finished his BA and started learning law. But he had to stop his studies because of the sudden death of his father. His father was ever giving, and he never much cared about the wealth he had. So now they were very poor. Narendra's every responsibility in the family fell on Narendra's shoulders, as everyone in his family every brother in his family had left, and he was the oldest brother. Narendra then started teaching, and he earns to earn some money, and he again started studying, but now with full concentration towards his studies. After completing his studies, he later found out that his guru Ramakrishna's health was all declining as well. That's why he went and he wanted to help his guru. Ramakrishna then Ramakrishna was overjoyed and very happy to see him. Ramakrishna was uh, Ramakrishna was very happy to see him, and he transferred all of his mythical powers to Vivekananda, and on that night Ramakrishna died peacefully on his bed and happily on in 1886. A year later, Narendra became a sannyasi, and he changed his name to Swami Vivekananda. He later traveled to the whole Indian subcontinent on feet, and he later he felt sad about the poverty and literacy. He later found the Ramakrishna Mutt and the Ramakrishna Mission, He later traveled to the United States representing India at the 1893 Parliament of the World's Religions. He represented India at the 1893 Parliament of the World's Religions, and he then went to he then conducted hundreds of public and private lectures and classes. He became in India he's considered as a patriotic saint, and his birthday is celebrated as World Youth Day. No doubt Swami Vivekananda is my hero because of the great accomplishments he achieved. Thank you.
Wonderful, Purav. Let us give a round of applause to Purav. Very nice speech.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, well done. You are Aditya Purav, right?
No, my name is Purav Kashi.
Purav Kashi, okay.
Okay, next person is Charvi. Is Charvi there?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My name is Charvi Santosh. So today I will be speaking about my hero, Swami Vivekananda. So we all believe in superheroes. They are people with unbelievable powers. They make impossible happen. My superhero is Swami Vivekananda, who was born in Calcutta on 12 January 1863, on the day of Makar Sankranti. His parents named him Narendranath. His father was a renowned advocate of the Supreme Court. As a child, Narendra was intelligent and also very brave. From his childhood, he used to question his father, why is there a gap between rich and poor? One day, he got a very big dream that he would be a monk and spread the word of God everywhere and lead a simple life. Then, he realized that he would lead a simple life. During his college days, he started learning the religious works in depth. Because of his reading, he had a strong desire to meet God. He had a clear goal, which was to see God. He wanted to experience the feeling of being with God. He wanted someone to show him the path. He started wandering here and there in the search of the truth. At last, Narendra met Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa in a temple. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was very impressed after seeing Narendra. He found himself unique than any other student. Naren always used to sit and meditate. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was very happy that he got a wonderful student to share all his experiences. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa instructed Narendra to read the Ashtavakra Gita, which had great impact on a young devotee who later flowered into Swami Vivekananda. At the same time, Paramahamsa was diagnosed with throat cancer and he was seriously ill. Paramahamsa gave all the miraculous powers he had to Narendra and died peacefully in 1886. Nearly a year later, Naren became a sannyasi. He started walking and wanted to cover the whole of India by foot. He renamed himself to Swami Vivekananda. He felt very bad when he saw poverty, hunger, and illiteracy, which was spreading like a forest fire in the country. It was then that he experienced what his religious teacher, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, wanted from him, and he knew why he had been given his teacher's miraculous powers. When Vivekananda was in Madras, he heard about the world's Parliament of Religions that was going on to be held in Chicago. He immediately got ready to attend and started off to go to Chicago by ship. The meeting was held on the 11th of September 1893. He started his speech, "My dear brothers and sisters of America." He received a tremendous response from the public and he became very popular in America. We are proud to say that in modern times, India could produce such a real and universal person in Swami Vivekananda,
whose thoughts are a source of inspiration throughout the world to shape a real personality. Swami Vivekananda repeatedly asserted that there are 4 dimensions of human personality: physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual. A harmonious growth of all these aspects constitutes the real personality. One must strive for sound health, strong mind, pure intellect, and spiritual growth simultaneously. I would like to share an incident that took place during Swami Vivekananda's wandering days. When he was staying in Varanasi, one day while returning from the Durga temple, Swamiji was chased by some monkeys. To save himself, Swamiji started running, but the monkeys ran still farther and grew increasingly aggressive. Meanwhile, an old monk who was witnessing the scene called out to him, "Stop running, face the brutes." Swamiji heard his call and turned to face the brutes. Then the monkeys stopped harassing him. Swamiji drew a great lesson from this incident. He learned that one should not run away when faced with danger or difficulty. Instead, one must face it boldly. In his later life, addressing a gathering in New York, he said, "Cowards never win victories. We have to face fear, troubles, and ignorance. Ignorance is nothing but the impurity of the mind. The person of pure mind alone can realize the divine. Just remove the cloud of ignorance, and the sun of knowledge will shine forth." Swami Vivekananda has given us hope when he said, "Whatever you think, that you will be. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. If you think yourself weak, weak you will be." Tremendous power is hidden within us. Positive thinking is the only way to bring it out. Swami Vivekananda's literature is the most inspiring and a storehouse of all positive and constructive ideas. Rabindranath Tagore said, "If you want to understand India, study Vivekananda and him. Everything is positive, nothing negative." That is the main reason behind announcing Swami Vivekananda's birthday as a National Youth Day by the Government of India. Hari Om, thank you.
Very nice, Charvi Santosh. You did very well and excellent quotations from Vivekananda. Very motivating speech. All the best.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. We have next Namit. Is Namit there? Namit?
Namit is not there.
Okay, I think Namit left the meeting. Okay, he just joined. Namit, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo.
Go ahead.
Today I'm going to speak about Swami Vivekananda, my hero. So, Swami Vivekananda got the title Lion of India because for his tremendous courage and his bravery. So, about courage, there is an incident in Swami Vivekananda's life. In Chicago, when he was to speak, he was very scared. Then he prayed to Ma Sharada Devi, and when he spoke, "My brothers and sisters of America," it was the first sentence. Then only he got 2 minutes applause. He got 2 minutes. They were clapping, and he came in American newspapers, and everywhere his name came. And he wanted to spread the mission of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and he was also the founder of Ramakrishna mission. He wanted to spread the message of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And Swami Vivekananda was remembering a lot of things. We can tell one incident from his life. When he was traveling to Chicago in the ship, one man was reading the newspaper. He left the newspaper and it fell inside the sea. Then who's in the ship? He told, why did you throw it? And Swami Vivekananda said, I'll write it. After some time you can come and see. And that man also went, and Vivekananda wrote, even without a single comma mistake, he wrote everything very nicely and very clearly. And he has also told, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So it has given me self-confidence. Today, if I am speaking in this speech, it's because of Swami Vivekananda's quotation, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So Swami Vivekananda is the lion of India. But there's nothing to roar. He doesn't roar. He's called a lion because for his bravery and courage. And we celebrate on 12th January National Youth Day. We celebrate the birthday of Vivekananda. It's called Youth Day because Swami Vivekananda was a youth leader, and he has told, believe in yourself and the world will be at your feet. And he has told, if a leader always needs to learn how to obey the commands. A leader needs to learn obedience. Vivekananda has told, and he has inspired. He has influenced many people: Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, Subhash Chandra Bose, and he is also the spiritual master of Subhash Chandra Bose. Hari Om.
Wonderful, Namit. You spoke very well.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I don't think there are any more participants, Guruji.
Did the list of participants? Anybody is pending? Anybody has missed out?
No. Everyone's done good.
Okay, let us give a big round of applause to all the participants for a wonderful job all of you have done. I enjoyed the speech of all of you. Very nice, very well spoken, excellent highlights. Okay. Only one person spoke on Deepavali. The rest of the people spoke on Swami Vivekananda. So a couple of observations from my side. One is that gradually you have to learn how to speak without using the notes. Practice the speech in front of a mirror or in front of your parents or friends. Then try to speak without looking at the notes. That will be a great value for you. Second thing is the topic name is My Hero Vivekananda. Some of the people spoke about the history of Vivekananda, where he was born and what happened. So that history is important. But what you love about the hero, what is the heroism of Vivekananda? Something which you have to highlight. That's what you have to observe. Then another thing is when you speak, your eyes should be on the camera. Okay, looking at this side, that side, or making some body language, you have to be careful. Right? Then one more aspect is organize your speech. So when the theme is My Hero Vivekananda, it's your my hero. Why is your hero? Why Vivekananda is your hero? You have to stress. What you love about Vivekananda? What is about heroism? Okay, so that you have to stress. Manya did a great job of bringing out what is hero in that. All other people, everybody has done very well, a great job. I loved all of your speeches, and I'll wait for next speech which you are going to give. So next, after going from here, Okay, the evaluators, today's evaluators, Charan and who else?
Atreya Guruji.
Atreya and Charan will give you the evaluation feedback. Okay, so the marks are given for various aspects like time, your expression, theme, and all those things. Look at that. Then Gayatri ji will circulate a self-evaluation form. Evaluate yourself, how you are doing. So this is not like a school competition. In school, what they say, who is winner, who is loser, right? In iLead, we want everybody to win. Everybody should become winner. We don't want to say you are the winner, you are loser. All of you are winners. All of you are Vivekanandas. All of you are Balakrishnas. So we want all of you to become great leaders. So we don't want to judge you. What you have to do? You have to evaluate yourself. We have to evaluate yourself based on the form. Every time you evaluate, you have to do compete. You have to compete with whom? Whom should you compete?
With our previous self.
With your previous self. Don't compete with anybody. So just look at what you have done today. Next week, improve on yourself. Don't worry about anybody. Are you clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That self-evaluation is for you to evaluate yourself. Okay. So Sri Charan and Atreya are our senior iLeads. So they have gone through the course of debate. So now they are actually coordinating this. I want you people also to grow up and yours also should start coordinating. So I want you to build leadership skills in you so that you coordinate the debates, you evaluate the people. That also I want you to do, right? As you become more mature, more proficient speakers. Then another thing is when you speak, try to use the body. Okay, express through the body. Vivekananda is a great leader. Okay, like that. Then what will happen? The speech will become more empathetic. Right? So, any questions? Then my request for all of you, when you start speaking, right, in a public place, we'll say, okay, honorable guests, honorable judges will speak. Here, there are no honorable guests and judges. Who are there here? My pranams to all Atmajyotis. All are Atmajyotis. You start with my pranams to all Atmajyotis. Your speech. Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Always speak, start a
Prabhuji.
all Atmajyotis. So you are respecting the divine light in everybody and then start the speech. Right? Okay.
Right, Prabhuji.
So today, Sri Charan and Atreya are the coordinating this session. Let us give a big round of applause to the coordinators. They are doing a great job. Okay, I want to see many of you also become coordinators. Many of you also conduct debate sessions. Okay. So shall we close the session for today? Let us always start with pranams to Atmajyotis. First we'll start always our session with the Gayatri mantra and we close with the prayer. What is the prayer? Oma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. A very, very happy Deepavali to all the iLeads.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wish you
the same.
Just one round of quick feedback. I want one round of feedback from all of you. Did you like this session? So what improvements you want? Just give me one word each. Start from Namit, quickly.
Prabhuji, so I like this debate. I learned that that I'm giving a few gaps, so I should cover those few gaps. That's the improvement which I thought.
Very good. You have to evaluate yourself, and next time you have to become better, Namit.
Yeah.
Mihir,
And at the end, while telling Hari Om, before that I was giving the gap. I just needed to learn how to cover that gap.
so this video of yours will be available on Facebook, so you can go back and check up,
Okay.
go back and improve, right? So
That's recorded.
try to practice in front of a mirror. Try to practice in front of a mirror or your parents. Then you become better.
Yeah.
Okay, what I used to do, I used to stand in front of a mirror and practice.
Okay.
Okay, Mihir, what's your feedback?
I can do better.
Sorry?
I can do better.
Okay, did you like this session?
I very much liked it.
How does it help you?
It helped me develop my speaking skills and become a better speaker.
Every great leader is a good speaker. Okay, you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, all the best, Mihir. Satvik Shastri. Satvik Shastri.
So I enjoyed the class a lot, and I learned a lot about Swami Vivekananda and how Deepavali and how we should speak, how to speak better.
Very good. Okay, so a couple of suggestions for you. You watch your video and observe some of the body language what you have done. Okay, you have to improve your, when you speak, you have to improve your body language. Okay,
Yes, sir.
look at that. You did a great speech, but next time, without looking at the notes, you have to try to do that. Right? And also, shall I show one thing? You are actually taking breath, right?
Huh?
You are taking breath.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so practice in front of a mirror. Okay, so that will give you a lot more clarity. All the best. Okay, great job. So, does this help you?
Yes, sir. It helps a lot.
Okay, next time you have to improve based on what you have done now. Right?
Okay.
All the best.
Thanks, sir.
So, Aditya, Karthik.
Yeah, my feedback is everything was very nice. I don't have anything. It was already very nice.
Does this help you?
Yeah, it helped me a lot.